Hello everyone. Hi dear students. I am Prasad Lakshmi Jatgandhi, Yani Prasad sir from the G Jaima Institute of Excellence from that Hyderabad. So now we are going to learn that organic compounds containing that nitrogen. In that we are going to learn about that amines. This is that part 3 video. In that part 1 just we learn um, in just a small introduction part, and in the part 2 just we learn that IUPAC system as well as that isomerism. So in the part 3 of this video, just where we are going to learn about the structure of amines, okay, as well as let us go to learn few the preparation methods of the amines, okay. Yeah. And let us see. So, what are the structure of amines and how it is that related to ammonia? Let us see. So, before going to explain here that to reduce the time of this that video clip, first of all, I need to write on the page, and after that I will explain better. Then it will reduce the time of this that recording, and because that within the time just we can learn a lot. Okay. Okay, so let us come to the point, the structure of amines, where we know that the structure of amines generally they are similar to they are similar to ammonia. They are similar to what? Ammonia. In that first part of that introduction, we are already learned. Sorry, is the okay? The structure of amine is that similar to ammonia. That means NH3. Okay. That means NH3. So in that first part of that video clip, in NH3, what is the central atom beta? Nitrogen is having a lone pair. So out of this, the three hydrogens, if you remove that one hydrogen, okay, see, I'm going to write from the completely left side of that page, which can be easy for us. What is that? Ammonia, in which one lone pair is present on that central atom, and the structure can be drawn like this. In that first year part, the chemical in the class 11th of the chemical bond chapter, where we are already learned, nitrogen is going to be surrounded by the three hydrogen atoms and having a lone pair, and the structure is looks like that pyramidal structure, okay, like the three bond pairs and that one lone pair, okay. Say, so out of these that three hydrogen atoms, if you remove that one hydrogen atom and addition of one alkyl group, where we are already learned, okay, so that's why it's just directly here I am writing without recording this one. Just wait. Okay, now let us see. So these the structures and this phenomenon where we are already learned in that first part of that video clip. So that in ammonia, so that's why that amines are that similar to the structure of amines is that is similar to ammonia only, isn't it? Now please look at over these that structures. So according to this structure from of that ammonia, if we remove the one hydrogen, then we get what? What is the primary amine, and this is the secondary amine, and this one will be the tertiary amine. Okay, so that's why simply we can say that amines are these amines, whether it may be primary or the secondary or the tertiary amines, are the derivatives of that ammonia, isn't it? Now in which the nitrogen atom, the central of this that ammonia, the nitrogen atom is undergoes which hybridization? What is the hybridization of that nitrogen? Here it undergoes that sp3 hybridization. The central atom of that nitrogen is undergoes sp3 hybridization, is going to form how many number of sp3 hybrid orbitals? With 4 sp3 hybrid orbital. Okay, like see how this one is that one sp3 hybrid orbital. Okay, and this is that one sp3 hybrid orbital, means s orbital is going to be overlaps with sp3 hybridal. Here s orbital is means s orbital of hydrogen atom is going to be overlaps with the sp3 hybridal of nitrogen atom, s orbital of this hydrogen, and s orbital of this hydrogen atom is going to be overlaps with the sp3 hybrid orbital of nitrogen atom. Whereas, so like this, out of that four sp3 hybrid orbital, whereas that this one is also that sp3 hybrid orbital only, but it contains that lone pair. So out of that four, three sp3 hybrid orbitals is overlaps with the s orbital of that hydrogen, and this sp3 hybrid orbital. See, out of that four sp3 hybrid orbital, three sp3 hybrid orbital is going to be overlaps with the s orbital of hydrogen atom and forms a NH bond like this, isn't it now? See, I will show you over here. Okay, forms like NH bond, one, two, second one, as well as the third one, NH bond. Whereas the fourth sp3 hybrid orbital is contains a lone pair. The fourth sp3 hybrid orbital, whatever it is over there, is contains a lone pair of electrons. Clear? So this is the structure of ammonia. So according to this geometry, what is the shape? Okay, could you say in that first class 11th of that chemical bond chapter where we are already learned what is the shape of the molecule ammonia? It will be suppose if it are one or two, sorry, if it is that sp3 hybridization, it would be that tetrahedral structure, isn't it? Now general thing, that is that general thing, but here due to the presence of that lone pairs, the geometry is going to be changed from the tetrahedral to what? Pyramidal shape. Tetrahedral to pyramidal shape, as well as not only that geometry, even it's that bond angle is also changed. Okay, its bond angle is also changed. So what is the bond angle of ammonia? Bond angle will be 107 degrees. Generally for the sp3 hybridization it's shown how much? How much beta? 109 degrees 28 minutes. We know that, but due to the presence of what I said, due to the presence of this that lone pair in that first year in that VSCPR theory, where we are already learned like that, due to the presence of that bond pairs side, that lone pairs, that a bond angle is going to be reduces, isn't it? And the geometry is also changed, isn't it now? So it will be from 109 to it will be 107 degrees. Okay, so here what happens? So where these amines is also the derivatives of ammonia, we are already known. Then what about this that bond angle? So increasing in number of that alkyl groups. See beta, so suppose here I am taking what, instead of that R, at the place of R, let us get just here I am taking that one CH3 group, alkyl group. In primary amine, one alkyl group is there. In secondary amine, two alkyl groups are there, means the two methyl groups are there, like this. Okay, in the tertiary amine, we are having three alkyl group, means three CH3 groups. So here what's going on, you know, like that, from the primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary, the number of alkyl groups are increasing. So that means that the steric hindrance is that more. Steric hindrance means what? That bulky groups is that more. So increasing in that bulky groups, it's the steric hindrance is also increases. Then the bond angle is also increases. The bond angle is also increases. So from that amine to primary and primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary amines, these the bond angle is increases. See here I am going to write the order of the bond angle. Okay, so clear beta. So here what I given, see what I given, the order of bond angle from that ammonia to that tertiary amine is going to be slightly increases. Why? I'm already told, due to that increasing of what, bulky groups. Look at CH3 groups are attached now over here, so that's why it's that steric hindrance is also increases. So if the steric hindrance is increases, obviously it's that bond angle is also increases. So from 107 to how much it is going to be increases? Approximately 107 to 108 is increases. Clear beta? So this is the structure of that ammonia. That's it. Okay, now in the next topic we are going to learn that optical activity amines. So please, if you want to just, you can take the screenshot of this one. Otherwise, that please note down the topic, whatever I covered over here. Okay, now. So next, otherwise that just you can pause the video and get the screenshot. Otherwise, that just while I'm explaining only, just you need to take note on that one. Okay, sorry. Now, the next point I'm going to explain. See, okay. So in the next topic, let us see that optical activity that amines. So amines means here I take in aliphatic amines. Aliphatic amines in the sense means like that open chain, not that aromatic means that benzene ring with that NH2. Okay, just aliphatic amines. Like this structures, okay na, like a cs3 cs, like primary secondary tertiary amines, like these are that examples. Okay, see, if that aliphatic amines, where we know that it's a geometry is that a pyramidal shape, see, like this pyramidal shape. Okay na, next is the central atom of that nitrogen. What is the central atom over here? That nitrogen is undergoes which hybridization? With a sp3 hybridization. And whereas on that nitrogen is contains that one lone pair, isn't it? Now, lone pair of electrons. So if nitrogen atom is contains that different substituents. See here, the nitrogen atom, central atom, and the primary amine contains CS3, and that secondary amine, this one is that CS3, this one is that CS3. In the tertiary amine, CS3, CS3, CS3 is there. But instead of like this, if that different substituents, so that means that in that primary amine, CS3 is only possible. But in that secondary amine, here the CS3 is there. Na? So instead of CS3, suppose if we kept that C2H5, so different groups are that atoms is located at that nitrogen atom, like CS3, C2H5, and hydrogen. So that means here that nitrogen can be known as that chiral, isn't it now? In that previous class, in that lower classes where we are already know about this point. In the tertiary amine, if that first R would be that CS3, second R would be C2H5, and the third R would be C3H7, like that propyl. Then also, that means that chiral position we can found in that secondary and the tertiary amine only. See, if nitrogen atom is contains the different substituents, then they are known as that chiral, isn't it? In which the secondary and the tertiary amines, they can exhibit that optical activity. Otherwise, simply we can know enantiomerism. Why they can show that optical activity? Why the secondary and the tertiary amines? Why they can show that optical activity or that enantiomerism? Why means they contains chiral. Why means they contains chiral. So that's why those molecules is of the central atom shown that chiral must and should it exhibit optical activity. Otherwise, it simply be known as what? Enantiomers or enantiomerism. Clear? So let us see the examples for that one. Okay, now. Okay, see, here I taken that one example of what, like according to that alphabetical order, what is would be the name of the compound? Ethyl methylamine, isn't it? Now, what is that? Ethyl methylamine. Okay, so this that ethyl methylamine. It is the plain polarized light. It is that non-superimposable. Non-superimposable means it just it is that enantiomer. Okay, because why it's shown that optical activity with the help of this that mirror image? Why it's shown that optical activity means why it is that enantiomerism means in which that central atom of that nitrogen is having that chiral. That's it. Okay, so that's why it's shown that non-superimposable that mirror image isomers. These two examples, and instead of this hydrogen here we can get that another alkyl group also, like that C3H7. Okay, clear? Now let us see that one more example in which what I'm going to say is that the chiral amines is not going to be resolved. Okay, what I am saying, the chiral amines cannot be resolved. Why? What is the main reason why these that chiral amines is not going to be resolved? That unlike if we contains that any chiral carbon compounds, that mostly the chiral amines is not going to be resolved. The main reason is two enantiomeric compounds. Let us get that. So these are the what I given that example, like that first one and that second one example. That two, the enantiomeric forms is that rapidly interconverted to each others, means one another. They are going to be interconvert, isn't it? Now from left to right and that right to left. So that process is known as what? Inversion. What type of that inversion? Nitrogen inversion, because here that central atom is that nitrogen. Okay, clear? What we say, this one is known as what? Nitrogen inversion. Nitrogen inversion. Clear beta? Okay, otherwise simply we can say that amine inversion also. What is that? Nitrogen inversion, or please note down over here, amine inversion also. So this process is known as, simply we can say as that flipping. What we say, that nitrogen inversion or amine inversion is known as simply flipping. What we say, simply we can say as that flipping beta. Okay, so this inversion which it is going to be resemble as that umbrella type, like that. Okay, now umbrella ki opposite. Okay, whenever we open that umbrella towards that each in opposite direction, so that is nothing but what? Simply we can say as that flipping. Flipping in the sense means what? Inversion. Okay, flipping in the sense means what? Inversion. What type of that inversion? Here that nitrogen is going to be inversion. Clear? So it is very difficult to isolate that pure sample of either it is that enantiomer or not. Okay, just leave that. It is observed with the following, that one example here. I wanted to draw the one example. Okay, see. I'm going to give the one example based on that. So how these the two compounds is going to be interconvert uh, in the present, like based on what, that planar transition stage, like they, whether they are that enantiomers or not, just we can find out depending upon this that structure. So here, before going to draw the structure, I am going to pause the video once, and after that I will be back. Okay, so let us see. So these structures I drawn over here. So where these are the previous structure only. So see this one only, the first one and the second one. What about this one? This is the transition state, as that intermediate, the planar transition state enantiomers. These two, first one and the second one. This one only, beta. Like this one, I taken that R1 and R2. If it is taken that another alkyl group, can be terminated as that R3, like that. Say. So in which here the nitrogen atom can shown that which hybridization? Come on, which hybridization? Please guess. Guess over here. Here nitrogen atom undergoes sp3 hybridization. This one, yes, this one is also undergoes sp3 hybridized nitrogen atom. But what about this one? What about this one? This nitrogen atom is undergoes sp2. Yes, this nitrogen atom is belongs to what? sp2 hybridized nitrogen atom. So that's why I'm already told like that in the previous only, like what I said, it's a give a planar transition state of that enantiomers, so which can either can revert to the starting amines also, like starting amines. Okay, otherwise enantiomer 2, where this one, this that intermediate compound. Okay, but although what we learn beta, like that in that simple amines, they can be resolved into that enantiomers. Mostly, most of the simple amines, they can't be resolved into that enantiomer, but if you are the examples, they can easily that resolve. Let us see which which amines of that compounds is going to be resolved as that mirror images through the plane polarized light. Let us check. So first one, so that means that if any compound, if it wanted to undergoes that optical activity, that enantiomers must ensure it contains, what is that? What is that? A chiral, chirality. So chirality is due to the presence of what? Asymmetric, any atom. Asymmetric means that not symmetric. Asymmetric should be, it contains that different type of that groups. Clear? Chalo. Let us see one example. Just I wanted to show you that here the two examples over here. Let us see. I'm going to pause the video now to draw the structure. Okay, so see what is that? The planar transit enantiomers. These are the just I'm going to show that few like amines, simple amines, how they are going to be resolved. Okay, like that in the two steps here I'm going to show what is that. The first one, the amines whose chirality is due to the presence of what asymmetric carbon atom, and second one is that quaternary ammonium salts. They are also undergoes that enantiomers, means that optical activity with what asymmetric nitrogen atom. So now see beta. So here I'm going to draw. I'm going to show how it is going to be shown that enantiomers. Let us check. Okay, beta. So see, I'm already drawn the structure of these that amines whose that chirality is due to that asymmetric carbon atom. See, this carbon atom is going to be asymmetric, like that CS3 is the hydrogen and C2H5 means CS2 CS3 and NH2 means different groups are attached to this carbon atom. Okay, this one is known as that plane to the paper, and this is the dark line which it is shown towards that observer, and this is that dotted line which it is there, this is that away from the observer, means that back bonding, that is one is that front bonding, and whereas that bar line is there, na, that bar line can be taken as that plane of the paper. Okay, chalo. So that's why these two, with the help of these that mirror images, they are that non-superimposable mirror images. So that's why there are the enantiomer. Enantiomer, so what? Butan 2 amine. Check whether it is that butan 2 amine or not. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons are there, and that second carbon just attaching that NH2. So this example is belongs to what? Butan 2 amine. Now let us check that quaternary ammonium salts. This one, that nitrogen which it is bonded with that 4 bonds, is simply we know that quaternary ammonium salts, isn't it now? So see, is the example is taken out like that ethyl. So this one is that is where C2H5, ethyl, methyl. This one is that isopropyl and phenyl ammonium ion, because quaternary ammonium salt is given as what? Ammonium ion. So this one is also belongs to what? In the asymmetric nitrogen atom, isn't it? Not the symmetric, asymmetric man. So that means that just like that chirality. So that's why it's shown that optical activity. So that means mirror images, non-superimposable mirror images. So that's why they are going to be sent as that enantiomers. That's it. So that's it. Okay. It's a very simple. And one more thing, but like whenever that R1, R2, R3, like this, not only that nitrogen, along with that nitrogen, if it is attached with that oxygen also. See, I'm going to write just a moment. Okay. What is that? The next point. Whenever there is the compounds like what is that different groups like n oxides, whenever that oxygen is attached to that nitrogen of tertiary amines, having that different groups like what is that tertiary amines, tertiary amines, which it is having like the different groups. So see, like R1, R2, R3, nitrogen, plus which it is attached with that oxygen atom minus. So this one is also shown that optical activity. Why? This one is also show optical activity. Optical activity. Could you say why? But optical activity is nothing but that enantiomer activity. Okay, why? Because that absence of a lone pair on the nitrogen, which causes, what is that here, reason? What is the reason why it's shown that optical activity? Reason means absence of what I said, absence of lone pairs on nitrogen. Absence of lone pairs are that nitrogen, isn't it? Because it is that quaternary 4-degree, isn't it now? And nitrogen, so which can cause those atom is having the is the absence of any that lone pairs, that atom is undergoes what inversion. Okay, then the nitrogen shown inversion. Clear? So that's it beta. So this is the part of what optical activity of amines. This is the part of optical activity amines. So please check. If you want understood, please try to go for that one more time. Okay, please try to go for that one more time, then you can easily understood this topic. It's a very silly beta. It's a very simple topic. Okay, now clear. So in this part we learn the structure of amines as well as the optical activity of amines. Clear? Clear now? So if you want to just, you can note down. So next part beta. So in that next part, um, we are going to learn about the preparation of amines. Clear? Okay. Okay, beta. So this is the preparation chart for the amines. See, so this is that very easy method. Okay, and that very important topic for the IIT JEE mains and that as well as that NEET point of view. So here I prepared that one a small chart wise the preparation methods of amines. Let us check that first one. So from alkyl halide, okay. Next, few the reduction reactions. All the reduction reactions I taken at that same place, like that from nitro compounds and from nitriles and that I could you say that nitriles and that isonitrile. What does it mean of that nitriles? Nitriles in the sense means is nothing but that cyanides, isn't it now? Nitriles means what? Cyanides. Then because that is cyanides, C and K, what is the prefix beta? Functional group key. Nitrile only na. Next that isonitrile key, what we say? The isocyanide. Isocyanides. Okay. Next amides. Okay. How can we give that amides? C double bond O. Excuse me. Okay, what is that? Amides means what? C double bond O NH group. If it is there, then simply we can say the amides. Azide means what? Contains that N3 minus, isn't it now? N minus 3 means that nitride, isn't it now? But azide means what? N3 minus. Okay, like that sodium azide. How can we write the formula better? The sodium azide, NaN3 like that. Okay, oxime. Oxime key, how can we give? Oxime, like yeah, CH double bond NOH. It is that simply we can say that oxines. Next, amination. Amination of what? Aldehydes and the ketones. This one is also belongs to that reduction only. Amination means suppose whenever that aldehyde is reacts with that amines and that ketones is reacts with that amine and loss of water, then like these that amines is going to be obtained. Okay, so we are going to learn in that method. Next method to prepare the amine is that Affman bromamide degradation and Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. These two are that very important one. And that Schmidt reaction is that IP point of view means that board exams is also that very important one. Schmidt reaction. Okay, is that VSCQ question. Next, in that industrial preparation methods is also there to prepare there is the amines. What are the from alcohols and that from RNO2 means that nitro compounds means here we should get that aromatic compounds like that nitrobenzenes and here like from RCl means that R should be here aromatic compound like that chlorobenzene. So how can we prepare from that chlorobenzene uh, to amines? So these are the one small chart of that preparation of that amines where now the explanation of these that preparation of that amines I'm going to take that another part 4. So please check the part 4 the preparation of that amines. Okay beta, so till then bye bye, see you in that next video. Have a good day. Otherwise just if you want, just you can get the screenshot of this one like this. Okay, just a moment, I'm going to, yeah, this one. Now you can get the screenshot of this one. Okay, chalo then bye, see you in that next video beta. Have a good day and take care.